Okay, what if I told you that you could make some serious money in real estate, but with like almost no risk and very little capital? I know, it sounds a little too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. It's called wholesaling. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how you can lock down your very first deal in just 21 days. Seriously, let's dive in.
So, what in the world is wholesaling? Honestly, it's pretty simple. Think of yourself as a deal matchmaker. You go out, you find a property that's a bit of a fixer-upper, negotiate a really great price with the seller, and you get it under contract. Then, and this is the magic part, you find a cash buyer, an investor who's ready to go, and you just assign that contract over to them for a fee. You never own the house, you never fix it up, you're just connecting the dots and getting paid for it. And what's the reward for being that middleman? Well, it can be huge. We're talking about an assignment fee. Basically, it's the difference between what the seller agrees to and what your cash buyer pays. Let's say you get a house under contract for, I don't know, $165,000. Then you turn around and assign it to a buyer for $175,000. Boom, that's a $10,000 profit right in your pocket. And that's just on one deal. Okay, before we get all excited and start hunting for deals, we gotta lay a solid foundation. Look, this isn't just a hobby, it's a real business. And if you want to be successful and protect yourself, you have to treat it like one from day one. This part is crucial. And setting up shop is way simpler than you probably think. There are really just 3 quick things to do. First, you're going to want to register a business entity, like an LLC. That protects your personal assets. Then, you get a tax ID number from the IRS, super easy to do online. And finally, open up a business bank account to keep everything clean and separate. Doing these 3 things, it immediately sets you apart from the amateurs. All right, next up, you gotta pick your playground, your market. This is super important. You need a place with enough deals happening, right? So, a good rule of thumb is to look for a county with at least 500,000 people. If you're in a smaller area, just make sure it's within, say, a 45-minute drive of a bigger city. But here's the real key. Once you pick your market, you have to commit, 100%. Jumping around from place to place just doesn't work. You'll be starting over every single time. Okay, foundation's laid. Now for the fun part, building what I call the deal engine. This is where the magic really happens. We're talking about finding sellers who need to sell and getting those properties locked down under contract. And let me be super clear about this. The absolute lifeblood of your entire business is a steady stream of motivated seller leads. It's not just a thing you do, it's the thing. Think of it like a pipeline. If you don't have leads constantly flowing in one end, there's no way you're going to get deals and profit coming out the other. It's that simple. So who exactly are we looking for? We're looking for what we call motivated sellers. Now, these aren't your typical homeowners testing the waters. These are people who have a problem and they need a fast solution. Maybe they're facing foreclosure, or they're a landlord who is just done with tenants, or maybe they inherited a house they just don't want or can't afford. They're more than willing to trade a bit of their home's equity for a quick, easy, all-cash sale that makes their problem disappear. But that leads to the big question, right? The million-dollar question. Where do you actually find these people consistently, reliably? Well, I can tell you it's not about luck. It's all about having a system, a go-to source that can feed you quality leads every single day. And really, the most powerful way to do this is to use a tool that does the heavy lifting for you. The #1 source that all the pros are using right now is GetSellers.io. It just cuts out all the guesswork. You get instant access to curated lists of people in pre-foreclosure, tired landlords, owners of vacant properties, you name it. This way, you spend your time actually talking to people who need to sell, not searching for them. Okay, so once you've got a hot lead, you gotta know what to offer them. And that's where something called the MAO comes in, your maximum allowable offer. This isn't just a random number. It's the absolute highest price you can offer that makes the deal a win-win-win. The seller wins, you win, and your future cash buyer wins. And the formula for this, it is dead simple. You start with what you think a cash buyer would pay for the house. From that, you subtract the profit you want to make, your wholesale fee. And whatever's left, that's your MAO. That's the number you take to the seller. It really is that straightforward. Now I need you to really listen to this next part, because it might be the most important thing you hear today. Wholesaling is a numbers game. You are going to hear no a lot. And that's not just okay, it's expected. You're not looking for everyone. You're looking for that one person who desperately needs what you're offering. The more offers you make, the more no's you get out of the way, and the faster you get to that amazing yes. And when you finally hear that yes, you gotta move fast. You got a purchase agreement signed, and that contract, that piece of paper is your golden ticket. Let's be clear, you don't own the house, but you own the right to buy the house at that agreed upon price. And that right, that's the valuable thing you're about to sell. So you've got the signed contract in hand. Awesome. Now it's time for the payoff. This is the last leg of the race, where we turn that piece of paper into cold, hard cash in your bank account. And the path from here to getting paid is super clear. It's just 4 steps. 1, you've got your contract. 2, you send that to a title company to open escrow. 3, while they're doing their thing, your job is to find your cash buyer. And 4, you sign a simple assignment contract with that buyer. After that, the title company handles everything. Finding that cash buyer is way easier than most people think. Seriously. A great trick is the neighborhood flipper method. Just look for who's already buying and fixing up houses in that area. Another goldmine, local real estate investor groups on Facebook. They're crawling with active buyers. And of course, getting out there and networking at local real estate meetups is a fantastic way to build your buyers list. And here's the best part. You don't have to be some kind of legal genius to do this. A good wholesaler-friendly title company handles all the complicated stuff. They're the ones who coordinate everything between the original seller and your cash buyer. And on closing day, boom, they wire your assignment fee straight to your account. You literally don't even have to be there. And that right there, that's the moment it all clicks. All that work, finding the lead, making the offers, connecting the people, it all pays off in that one moment. A huge fee, all for creating a situation where absolutely everyone walks away happy. You know, if you follow this exact process, getting that first check in your hands in just 21 days is not a dream. It's totally possible. The steps are laid out, the model works. So really, there's only one question left. Are you ready to start the clock?